This is a public service announcement. If you are just beginning a GLP-1 journey or you know someone who is, please stop and listen to this quick video or share it with a friend who may be beginning their journey, because I think that our healthcare is really failing us, and I think that some people may need this information. Welcome, my friends. I am Cheryl, and this is my channel where I have been documenting my weight loss journey on a GLP-1, namely Zepbound, for 16 months now, over 70 weeks. I have successfully lost 70 pounds to date. I am still going, my friends. That is the most weight that I have ever lost in my entire life, and the most weight that I've ever kept off. So I am currently 149 pounds. I have never been under 165 in my adult life that I can recall. So I have been relatively successful, and I think I have learned a thing or two over the past 16 months about GLP-1s. And I would like to share some of those tidbits with you all, because many doctors, many healthcare providers are just not giving this information out. So I wanted to talk to you guys about just how unbelievably amazed I am at the lack of information that some of these healthcare providers have while they're prescribing this medication, mine being one of them. I have had to do all of my own research. I have brought information to my doctor, and she's been kind of like, wow, I had no idea. And it's a little baffling to me that people are prescribing a medication for other, like, people being doctors are prescribing medication for people, and they just know nothing about this medication. So these medications, and when I say these medications, I mean Zepbound and Mounjaro, which is tirzepatide, Ozempic and Wegovy, which is semaglutide. Those are the four big ones that you hear about. And then there's Saxenda, Trulicity, there's another one out there. And there's more to come. There's another one, retaglutide, I think is how you pronounce it, but another one that's coming out soon. And these doctors, I almost feel like, are just jumping on the bandwagon of prescribing the medication because that's what everybody else is doing and that's what people are asking for, but they just don't have enough information. And somebody said something to me recently that just kind of got me thinking about it, and it's infuriating and it's frustrating just how lax our healthcare system is. I've shared very, very little with you guys lately about a family member who is going through some medical stuff, and I have been going with that family member to doctors, and I have, like, here in my notebook, information from that. So this family member was diagnosed with a type of cancer, and it took 8 months after the first blood test and the first original, like, diagnosis, like, okay, you've got cancer, we're 99.7% sure, we need you now to do this and this. It took 8 months to get all of the testing done, all of the final results, and then to get to an appointment with the doctor for the doctor to give options for treatment. 8 months. That is mind-boggling to me. And I was there, and I was doing everything in my power to hold my tongue and contain my composure so as not to upset this family member. It was infuriating. And I'm trying to fight back tears now because it was just so unbelievable that when people don't know, they don't speak up. And I really do feel like the same thing is happening here with these GLP-1s. I have told you all many times that I work with several people who are taking these medications, and, like, good, close, personal work friends. and they'll like say something to me, and I just look at them flabbergastedly, and I'm like, what? They have no knowledge. And this has been ongoing for over 6 months that they've been on these medications. Their doctors are giving them no information, and they're just kind of like running wild and free with a pen. And I do feel like this is the larger percentage of people out there. And I know that compounds and telehealth were like really getting a bad rap in the beginning, but I gotta say, I have a doctor and my medication is covered by insurance. So I never went the telehealth or the compounded route because I didn't have to, because thankfully I'm covered by insurance. Sorry, it's getting a little windy out here. It was like 86 degrees 20 minutes ago. But I feel like the compounded and telehealth companies, they were providing more support and more insight and setting up people with dietitians and nutritionists and therapists and all of this stuff. And I just think the doctors who are prescribing this, like the general practitioners, either they shouldn't be, and they should be referring people out to weight management, or they should be taking a little bit more care in what they're doing. And it just sucks because you go to a doctor's office and they're booked. Like, you're there for like an 8:15 appointment, and the person beside you is there for an 8:20 appointment with the same doctor. And these doctors are just booked, or they're not there. They don't have enough medical staff to staff everything. And I think it's because our healthcare system sucks so bad that I feel like even the medical professionals are jumping ship at this point. Like, it's just mind-boggling to me. And I'm not here politically. I don't want this to become anything political. We all know, if we're in America, we all know that our healthcare system sucks, and it is probably the worst in the world. I feel like every other country has better healthcare than us. We pay astronomical fees. My healthcare just went up 19.6%. And next year, we fought all of the deductible portion of it for this year. Next year, our deductibles are going through the roof. And who knows what's going to happen with my medication at that point. I'm just flabbergasted that doctors are prescribing this medication and they know absolutely nothing. They don't know the side effects. They don't know what to do when the side effects happen. I realize that they don't have a lot to do with the insurance portion of it. So when I was a little frustrated that like my doctor didn't know that CVS Caremark was stopping the Zepbound and only going to be allowing people to do Wegovy. And at that point, my doctor was like, okay, well, we'll switch you to Wegovy. And I was like, no. Like, that's not, we have to do XYZ first. Like, she didn't even know the procedure. And that was extremely frustrating. But I get that, like, she's a doctor. That's really not her job. But I just felt like if it wasn't for this pharmacist person who works within my medical group, I would get no information. Luckily, my doctor did refer me last summer to a dietitian, and they were able to give me a lot of great information. And I have those videos in my playlist from last August. It was really great information. I got a lot out of it. But I do feel like if you are beginning a journey, especially if you have a significant amount of weight to lose, do the research, listen to some creators, get the questions that you need, and go into the appointment with some questions. And if the doctor doesn't know, find out where the doctor can get that information. And if it's through a dietitian, then ask for the referral, because many people are using the internet for their macros, for how much protein, how much water, how many calories. And it's really not, like, we have that BMI scale out there that all doctors hate and know is like really bogus at this point, this day and age. But yet we're still using the same thing for our calorie count. Like, okay, if you're 5'1" and you're this much, this is what your everybody doesn't work that way. And I did learn through all of this that everybody's not the same. I have CKD. I have chronic kidney disease. My protein intake cannot be what your protein intake is. So you may be 4'11 and 3/4 and starting at 219 pounds, but your protein might be 120 grams. I don't know. Don't listen to me. But that's what people on the internet were telling me. You should be eating 100 to 120 or 30 grams of protein. And then my doctor was like, I don't know, let's check. And I had to meet with some dietitians who was like, yeah, your body can't break that down because your kidneys are not functioning that great. Same thing with the water. Go on the internet and they're going to tell you that you should be drinking at least your body weight in ounces of water. If I was drinking 219 ounces of water a day, my kidneys would not be able to be flushing that amount of water. My kidneys don't function that way. So that makes me very nervous that doctors don't know the information, or people aren't getting the information from their doctors, and there's so much vague information out there. We are all so different and so unique in so many ways that I just feel like we need a little bit more guidance. We need more guidance in all of the medical community. We really, truly do. But this medication and these medications, as long as they've been out, I realize that some of them have been out for a very long time, but they have really exploded in the last 2 years. But the doctors are not they're not playing catch up. Unless it's a doctor that is specializing in weight management or obesity, they're not a specialist in that, and they don't have anything but general information about everything. They've got this much information about this many things, and we really need to have somebody assisting us in this journey that has this much information in this many things. Does that make sense? So I just urge you, if you are beginning this journey, or if you're struggling on this journey, to see a doctor and ask a doctor about seeing a specialist or seeing a dietitian. Last time I went to my doctor and I brought up some of these things, I also brought up to her, the fact that I'm pretty sure I'm in perimenopause. And she was like, okay, I can't help you there. I'm sending you to a menopause specialist. But yet you prescribed the medication that you knew nothing about, and never did it dawn on you, I should send you somewhere else. So just be careful. I know that we all, and I was guilty of the same, we all just want to get our hands on the medication as quickly and as easily as possible. And I didn't want to do the work, and I wanted to be less bothered or inconvenienced by anything additional. And in the beginning, I probably wouldn't have gone to a weight clinic. But at the very least, if you're beginning this journey, or you know somebody who is, make sure that they're getting the research and the information, because a lot of the doctors are just not giving it. There are many side effects. The side effects change from day to day. The side effects change from dose to dose. And I don't really think, there's so many doctors that I just don't think know this information. I don't think they know the complexity of the side effects and of how they change. When I decide I'm ready to change doses, I call and they're like, okay, you know best. Do I? I hope so. And luckily now I have Casey, like I said, the pharmacist, who is very fluent in all of this information. So that is my spiel for you guys today. I just want to make sure that everybody is educated, and if you know somebody beginning this journey, to make sure that they get educated as well. I really, really just want to make sure that I'm getting this information out there to all of you guys. So thank you all so much for being here. You know how much I love and adore each and every one of you. And remember, my friends, when you can't find the sunshine, be the sunshine. Bye.